What if I told you this could be the season the Falcons finally break the curse? That after 7 painful years of watching other teams dance in the playoffs, Atlanta might finally be building something special, something dangerous. But here's the truth. It all starts with one brutal question. Can this defense finally stop bleeding on the ground? Because if they can't, everything else collapses. Training camp is coming. The clock is ticking. And Falcons fans, it's now or never. Falcons fans, buckle up. The 2025 offseason isn't just a reset. It feels like a turning point, a moment where the entire identity of this team hangs in the balance. After another frustrating finish at 8-9 last season, their seventh straight year missing the playoffs, Atlanta is once again left staring in the mirror, asking the same hard questions. There were glimpses of hope. Kirk Cousins showed why he was brought in, throwing with poise, making clutch plays, and bringing a veteran calm to the offense. Drake London made highlight after highlight, reminding everyone that he's a true WR1. But for every spark, there was a breakdown. And most of those breakdowns? They happened on defense, especially against the run. Now, with training camp just weeks away, the pressure is real. Flowery Branch is buzzing, and so are fans across the globe, from Georgia to Budapest. Everyone's wondering, can this team finally fix its biggest weakness? The run defense disaster nobody can ignore. Let's not sugarcoat it. The Falcons' run defense was a mess last year. Sure, the stat sheet said they were 15th overall in rushing yards allowed. That sounds average, maybe even okay. But numbers can lie. What really killed Atlanta was consistency. On third downs, they were a disaster, 31st in the league, giving up a first down nearly half the time. Why? Because they kept losing early downs. Opposing offenses ran wild on first and second down, setting up easy third and short situations. No pass rush in the world can thrive when it's constantly stuck defending 3rd and 2s or 3rd and 3s. And Falcons fans saw it every week. The defense would hang in there, then boom, one bad gap, one missed tackle, one 6-yard run, and the drive stayed alive. Over and over again. Hope on the horizon. Or false promise. But here's where things get interesting. There's buzz. There's real excitement around young players like Zack Harrison, who's starting to look like a breakout candidate. And even an undrafted rookie, Nick Nash, is turning heads in OTAs. Could he become the surprise of camp? Could he steal a roster spot and bring a spark to this unit? The Falcons have pieces. They have speed. They've added veterans. But can they come together and build a defense that finally holds the line? Now it's your time to weigh in. Do you believe Atlanta's defense is ready to take the next step? Rate your confidence in this team's run defense, 1 to 10, and tell us why in the comments. Because one thing's for sure. The 2025 season won't wait for anyone. And neither will the NFC. Let's rewind the clock for a second. Remember the 2016 Falcons? The last time Atlanta felt like a true powerhouse, the last time they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. That team wasn't perfect. In fact, their run defense ranked near the bottom of the league at 26th. But here's what made them dangerous. They knew how to force third and long. They bent, but didn't break. They made quarterbacks uncomfortable. That gave Vic Beasley, Grady Jarrett, and that young pass rush room to feast. Fast forward to 2024, that same formula was nowhere to be found. Instead, opposing teams like the Saints and Panthers ran wild, dragging Atlanta's front seven up and down the field with soul-crushing, clock-chewing drives. Third and long? Rare. This defense spent the year gasping for air, stuck in short yardage nightmares that neutralized their speed and aggression. So, what's the plan now? The 2025 gamble. Growth over big names. Unlike some teams chasing big-name free agents, the Falcons are placing their bets in-house. No flashy headlines. No major signings. Just a belief that the pieces are already here. That they just need to grow up. Fast. At the center of that hope, Moro Ojomo, a second-year defensive tackle who's being asked to make a massive leap. He barely made a dent in 2024, 12 tackles, 1 sack, 17 games. That's not exactly game-wrecking production. But now, the coaches are expecting him to anchor the middle next to the reliable but aging David Onyemata. And fans are nervous, with good reason. People like Imra are already asking the tough question: what's plan B if Moro flops again? There's no veteran safety net behind him, no fallback option. It's Moro or bust. And it doesn't stop there. Atlanta's also leaning on two rookie edge rushers, Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. Both are athletic freaks. Both have sky-high upside, but they've never played a down in the NFL. Can they crash into the backfield and shut down runs at the line of scrimmage? Or will they get swallowed up by bigger, smarter offensive linemen? Add in new defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake, a man known for aggression at Washington, and you've got a ton of questions. Will he finally tweak his scheme to plug the run? Or will his blitz-heavy style leave the middle of the field wide open? Every piece of this defense is under pressure. Every decision could define this season. The Zack Harrison mystery. Time to unleash the beast? Now let's talk about the player that has everyone talking, but for all the wrong reasons. Zack Harrison. Drafted out of Ohio State in 2023, he was supposed to be the next big thing on the Falcons' defensive front. He's 6'6", moves like a linebacker, and was expected to wreck games as an edge rusher. But then, something changed. The coaching staff bulked him up from 270 to nearly 290 pounds, turning him into a hybrid tackle instead of letting him chase QBs off the edge. It was bold, it was risky, and honestly, it backfired. He dropped from 310 snaps in his rookie year to just 220 in 2024. Fans were left scratching their heads. Why wasn't he on the field more? Every time he did get a chance, he flashed. 3 sacks, 25 tackles, limited reps, real impact. People like Steven from Loganville are asking what we're all thinking. Why did the Falcons bury this guy? Well, that's about to change. In 2025, the Falcons are going all in on Harrison. Defensive line coach Nate Ollie is crafting a new role just for him, a big-end hybrid monster that blends power and speed. He keeps the size from 2024, but he's going to move like an edge rusher and hit like a defensive tackle. It's risky, but if Harrison finally gets unleashed, he could become the X factor this defense has been missing. Falcons fans, we need to hear from you. Do you think Zack Harrison will finally break out this year? Is the Falcons' gamble on young talent smart or dangerous? Drop your takes in the comments and rate the Falcons' 2025 defense from 1 to 10. Be honest, be bold, because this season, everything is on the line. Now, picture this. Zack Harrison, all 6'6", and 290 pounds of him, crashing into the backfield one play, stuffing a running back cold. Then the very next snap, lining up wide, exploding off the edge, and chasing a quarterback into panic mode. This is the Falcons' plan. Turn Harrison into a nightmare. They want him to be a weapon, not just a defensive lineman. A chess piece that creates chaos anywhere on the line. Think Calais Campbell in his prime, that same blend of power, length, and freakish versatility. And it's not just Harrison. Atlanta is grooming another rising name, Brandon Dorless. Another hybrid lineman who can adapt, shift inside or out, and create headaches for offensive coordinators. Together, they could give the Falcons something they haven't had in years, a defensive front that's unpredictable, aggressive, and truly dangerous. But here's the truth. None of that matters unless Zack Harrison turns potential into production. He showed flashes at Ohio State, explosive burst, raw strength. But flashes aren't enough in the NFL. You've got to dominate every week. You've got to stay healthy. You've got to earn every snap. If Harrison masters this hybrid role, if he learns to be that disruptive force on every down, He could become Atlanta's version of DeForest Buckner. Big, fast, relentless. The kind of defender that changes entire game plans. But it's a big if. So we ask you, Falcons Nation, is this the year Harrison becomes a star? Or just another, what if? Nick Nash, from nobody to breakout hero? Now let's shift gears, because there's a name you need to remember. Nick Nash. Undrafted, overlooked, and now? On fire. This wide receiver out of San Jose State has come out of nowhere to steal the spotlight. He didn't just have a good college season, he lit up the NCAA in 2024. 104 catches, 1,382 yards, 16 touchdowns. This guy was a walking highlight reel, and now he's doing the same thing at Falcons camp. At Oda's, Nash was out-jumping defenders, making insane sideline grabs, and pulling in deep balls like it was nothing. Picture this, a 40-yard bomb down the right sideline, Nash goes up, snatches it above the defender's helmet, lands in bounds, crowd goes wild. Even the coaches were stunned. He's got the swagger. He's got the juice. He moves like a young Steve Smith Sr., fierce, fearless, and always hungry. But here's the problem. The Falcons' receiver room is stacked. Drake London is the unquestioned WR1. Darnell Mooney brings elite speed and experience. Ray McLeod is a weapon in gadget plays. Catterall Hodge is a solid depth piece. And Jamal Agnew is locked in as the return man. That's 5 spots. Most teams carry only 5 or 6 receivers. So where does that leave Nash? He's battling against other young guns like Casey Washington and Chris Blair, both of whom have flashed. Making the 53-man roster is a long shot, but Nash isn't going away quietly. With his college production and early camp performances, he's forcing coaches to ask one question. Can we really cut this guy? Time to sound off, Falcons fans. Let's hear it from you, the real ones. Can the Falcons finally fix their run defense? Will Zack Harrison break out and become a game wrecker? And does Nick Nash deserve a spot on this roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Rate your confidence in this defense from 1 to 10. Tell us who you think will be Atlanta's breakout star. Because one thing's for sure, 2025 won't wait. And this Falcons team is running out of time to prove they're the real deal.